Check this out. A hydrothermal explosion temporarily shuts down Yellowstone's Biscuit Basin today. The explosion sent debris flying and destroyed the nearby boardwalk. Take a look at this video. It happened just after 10 a.m. this morning near the Sapphire Pool, just north of Old Faithful. Now, luckily, nobody was hurt, and the officials are still assessing the extent of the damage. Biscuit Basin, including the parking lot and boardwalks, have been temporarily shut down for safety reasons. However, park officials said the Grand Loop Road still remains open. Let's get a check-in with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy. This amazing video there. That's just scary.
It is, and the damage reports following show that boardwalk completely gone, Jordan. So interesting development there, but to catch that on video, and you could see some of those folks running as that explosion went off. Live view from Cedar City, Iron County, showing upper 80s. We've got some storms over the mountains. The southwestern corner of the state active yet again. Not a surprise. The positioning of that high, keeping things interesting as we look at our satellite radar. You're able to see in the last few hours with the heat of the day, the moisture trapped underneath our ridge of high pressure turns into storms, and we know that south of I-70 we've seen plenty of activity and a few storms sneaking through northern Utah, really the northeastern corner of the state. Forewarn radar sweeping the region right now, which shows over towards the basin north of Castle Country and then down south, fresh lightning in those mountains from that live view I just showed you. We've got some thunderstorms popping up over the high country, but then also from Enterprise stretching down towards St. George over Tokerville, so a portion of I-15 heading into Ivins and Santa Clara. These storms are moving south to southeast today with the help of our weak northerly flow. That high pressure does that. Thick wildfire smoke out there. I show the ABC4 camera here because usually we can see that pristine view of the Salt Lake Valley, but we've got local wildfires, and on top of that, thicker plumes of smoke to the north of us. And with our northerly flow, you're going to watch as those kind of move in to Cache Valley and along the Wasatch Front as we head into the overnight hours. So smoky conditions will hold on for your Pioneer Day throughout the entire Beehive State. Vernal could get some smoke too. It's 100 degrees in Salt Lake City. It's our 13th triple-digit day of the year. We've got 90s for the rest of the Wasatch Front. Triple digits in Green River, 96 in Moab, 80s in Cedar, 106 in St. George, and triple digits in Lake Powell. Emery at 87. A few spots seeing those storms, and they're cooling just a little bit. 6-hour temperature trend for the Wasatch Front shows our 90s showing up following these triple digits with hot and hazy conditions even as we near ABC4 News at 10. Very mild with 87 by the time we hit the news. That positioning of the high pressure centers up over Utah, Arizona, and Nevada. And for Pioneer Day, we're looking at above average temperatures, not just for us, but throughout the Great Basin. This heat has a grip, and we look at that heat advisory going into effect at noon for your Pioneer Day. This does include the Wasatch Front, as well as the Great Salt Lake Desert and Mountains, Cache Valley, portions of Juab and Millard County. In effect at noon, holds on until 10 p.m. Highs could get as hot as 104. Now that high also allows for that moisture, which is trapped underneath the ridge. The moisture around the ridge of high pressure will allow for our daily thunderstorms to occur, tied to the higher terrain and then in southern Utah. Futurecast kind of shows us that. Getting through tonight, we're watching as those storms kind of push south. Southwestern Utah stays active, cloud cover in the southern half of the state. Heading into Pioneer Day, we start out hot and hazy. We stay that way in the north with a few storms over the spine of Utah, south central mountains, and towards St. George, getting those storms late into the day. We're going to watch on Thursday because we get a bit of a pattern shift. The high pulls away, and that's going to allow for moisture to re-arrive along the Wasatch Front. We could see some storms. Flash flood potential possible. Capitol Reef, Bryce, as well as probable near Zion and Grand Staircase for your holiday. Important to put that out there if you're going to be out recreating. Triple digits with a heat advisory along the Wasatch Front. 106 in Moab, 107 in St. George, and those storms will be popping with this instability and the heat of the day. Can't stress that enough when it comes to flash flood potential and those temperatures just kind of showing off the heat spiking for the holiday. We see triple digits and that moisture starting to dwindle as the high moves away heading into the weekend. Those numbers will ease in St. George, and then Pioneer Day is just going to be hot, toasty, sizzling, a scorcher, whatever you want to call it. You're going to feel it because it's going to be hot. We ease into the 90s with the threat of storms returning to northern Utah Thursday and Friday.
Of course, everyone wants to go outside, enjoy all the festivities, so Alana makes it scorching hot for them.
Well, listen, we've had hot Pioneer Days. We just have to be careful out there. That's just something to be aware of, and it's just a good day for a scoop of ice cream.